The directions to make this the directions are in the description below. The directions to make this will be in the, I did it again. The directions to make this is, what is the matter with me? I'm going to show you how to make pumpkin puree in a few easy steps. No more of this. Though this is good, this is better. Think about a fresh ear of corn. When you cut it off, you steam it, and you eat it, the taste is impeccable versus a can of corn. Just saying. Look for pie pumpkins or sugar pumpkins. They're the really small ones, and they'll say right on them what type they are. They provide the best texture, flavor, and they are naturally sweeter. The directions to make this puree are in the description below, and any tools that I've used today. I do want to clarify, if you're in an area where you can't get fresh pumpkins, there's nothing wrong with this. Or maybe you're having a busy week and you want to make pumpkin pie, cookies, bread, nothing wrong with this. Again, this is just a way to elevate the flavor. So let's get busy. First thing you want to do is turn the oven to 400, that's 200°C. You want to get that nice and hot. One thing I want to tell you ahead of time, you will need some kind of a food processor, a food mill, a food processor, a blender, an immersion blender, something that will get you that smooth texture we're looking for. This puree needs to be, think baby food smooth. So now we're going to go ahead and process these pumpkins. You want to grab a cutting board, a sharp knife, and a bowl and a spoon, and let's get busy. You want to cut the top off. Flip it upside down, and then cut it in half. Next, you want to remove as much of the stringy pulp and the seeds from the center of the pumpkin as you possibly can. One of the things I found easier is to just sever that little section right there. It just helps in the process of getting all of this stringy stuff out. You need a bowl and a spoon. You can try an ice cream scoop, something that has a sharper edge, whatever you choose. You just need to keep working at getting the stringy stuff out. This is about what it should look like. You don't have to get every little piece out of there, but you want to get as close to that flesh underneath there as you can. So the hard part is done. If you have a few little strings in there, that's okay. I mean, this is what we want, that nice flesh right there, but this doesn't hurt a thing. Your food processor will just make short work of that. So we are on to the next step already. Now you need a baking sheet lined with a piece of parchment paper, and you want to place the pumpkin cut side down onto your sheet. Now we're going to place these in the oven for 35 to 45 minutes until the flesh is tender. When pierced with a fork, like a fork should go easily into the pumpkin flesh. So off to the oven we go. These pumpkins are so moist. Watch the explosion of steam that comes. Ooh. All right, let's see how we're doing here. It goes in very easily. I'm going to go ahead and take them out. That's so cool. We need to let these cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. These are still really warm and I want it to cool faster, so I'm going to remove the skins and then we'll just let this come to room temperature. It should peel off. You can use your fingers. Isn't that so cool? You can just peel it right off. It's super hot, but this just allows it to cool faster. And what you're left with is this beautiful pumpkin flesh. You can flip it over even if you want. There's a lot of heat trapped under there. And you'll see where this was in contact with the pan and it browned. Just leave that on there. It's just golden, and actually you'll get a little enhanced flavor and color from that. Just make sure you get all the skin off and leave that nice golden brown flesh on there. Now it's time to blend our pumpkin. This is nice and cool, so I'm gonna put it in my food processor. If you're using a food processor, just make sure that you don't like overfill it. We wanna make sure that all of it gets the opportunity to be spun around and processed. We don't want any chunks of pumpkin in there. So I'm gonna do this in 2 batches. I'm gonna turn this on high for 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, now I'm going to scrape the sides down. We are all about, at this phase, just making sure that there are no chunks hiding in there anywhere. We want really, really smooth puree. Just turn that on again. Okay, this is looking really nice. I'm going to show you what this looks like. Look at that. It's smooth and beautiful. Fresh pumpkin puree is more watery than what you're going to get in a can. So what you want to do next is get a fine mesh sieve, and you need some cheesecloth. You want to line your sieve with the cheesecloth. So you put your puree in right into the cheesecloth. You want to put this in the refrigerator. Ideally, if you do it overnight, that would be the best thing for it. If you're in a hurry, you can do it in 2 to 3 hours. Just let it rest and let the water drip out of it. You can always squeeze the cheesecloth. I'm going to show you something behind me here in a minute. What I do is just put parchment paper on it. Just press down on that. I don't want it to dry out or take on any odors in the refrigerator. And I just put the cheesecloth kind of on top like that. And you just want to let it rest and allow it to drip. I want you to see this. I made this yesterday, and it is definitely at the right consistency now, which I will show you. But I wanted you to see, this is how much water came out of 2 pumpkins just from 24 hours. And I also wanted you to see this. There's still water in this. This is one way you can do this is to just twist a little bit. And look at the water coming out. Do this for about maybe a minute. You do want water in it, but not this much. Okay, so it has pretty much stopped dripping. So I'm just going to show you now. It holds its shape. This is the consistency that you want. This looks much more like what you would get in a can. And when you scoop it with a spoon, it holds its shape. This is perfect. This fresh pumpkin puree can be used in any of your recipes instead of canned pumpkin, whether you're making cookies or bread or pies. Speaking of pies, check out my delicious pumpkin pie recipe where we use fresh pumpkin puree. I look forward to baking with you in the next video.